Alright, so this is my tutorial for the Ear Dragon, both online and offline. There's some spoilers ahead, so you've been warned. Now let's get straight into it. One way to access the Ear Dragon is through Cassardis in New Game Plus. Go through the archway I'm aiming at, and you'll find a rift portal that'll teleport you straight in. It's pretty simple, straightforward. The second one is through post-game after killing Kagorian through the Everfall. I choose dropping down from the very top, and then from here you'll end up pointing your character to the bottom right of the screen, and you're going to aim for the bridge-like structure. This will bring you to the Chamber of Lament. If this is the first time in the Everfall after fighting the Duke, it will be another chamber that you'll have to go in and kill the evil eye and then come back out, and it'll become the Chamber of Lament. Whichever entrance you take, you'll still have to kill the 3 pawns that spawn by a Cassardis Entrance in order to summon the Ear Dragon. So, those are both the entrances. Alright, so during this encounter, I'm wanting to fight the online Ear Dragon. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill the 3 pawns and summon them. As for the weapons that I'm using a Gold Forge for Mono Blades, and I also use 4 Conquerors to max out my damage output with 100 kisses. My character is a Strider. This is a viable strategy for Rangers, Assassins, and Striders if you choose the climb method, which I'm about to do. For those wondering why I'm not using Heaven's Keys, since Ear Dragon does have a weakness to holy damage, the whole thing is I have a higher output damage with higher strength based blades, even with this character being a hybrid, so the strength and magic damage stats are very similar. The only class I believe that would benefit most with the Heaven's Keys would be a Mystic Archer with a high magic base strength. During this fight, I'll end up leaving early because I know with my damage output I'm getting close to the damage cap, which is something that a lot of players don't know, is that there is a damage cap on the Ear Dragon. How to know that you've gone over it or not is simply just by leaving. And if you get a accessing server at the top right of the screen, which should be appearing here in a second, that means you haven't reached the damage cap, and all the damage that you've inputted is being calculated to the total health of the dragon. Now, leaving early, there is no consequence that you have to worry about it. There's nothing bad that'll come of it. You can simply leave whenever you're getting close to the damage output, or if you're doing the Maker's Finger strategy, which I'll be doing later. So with this one, I'm gonna go ahead, run my Conquerors, same 100 kisses and everything, and then I'm gonna show you that when I go to leave, I'm not gonna get the accessing server. And what that means is it's like, basically this whole entire round that I was fighting the Ear Dragon doesn't count. It doesn't go towards any damage towards the major health pool. And I think that a lot of players, what they end up doing is they go in here and they're fighting for 8 minutes straight, not dealing, or they're dealing enough damage and going over the cap. However, it's not being counted to the total amount. So leaving the arena area early, there's nothing bad about it. And then as you go through and you figure out your damage output and where you need to stop and leave, will help you out a lot. I play solo, that way I can figure out what my damage was at and everything and how long to actually be in there. I figured out that I can pop my Conquerors, and I have gloves that make it last the next 30 seconds, so I just pop it once, run about half stamina bar, and then I'll go ahead and leave if I'm doing a climbing method. As you can see right here, I don't get accessing servers, so the whole round didn't even count. So I'm going to end up showing you the Maker strategy, which is coming up next. This strategy is pretty much what I do when I want to actually kill the Ear Dragon as fast as I can. So with that, you got to start over in Grand Soaring, which will be coming up next. So we go ahead. I like to go ahead and stay at the end, that way I can find Fornival at his house. Because most of the time, he'll go around and he's just at the Black Cat or in the market, and it can be really annoying trying to fight him. Another thing to mention, if you do Trials and Tribulations, if you complete the quest and he's found not guilty, then he's going to chop the price of the Maker's Fingers from 300k to 270k. which in the long run, you'll save money. I think every 9 you buy, you get one free, basically. So go ahead, I'm gonna buy the Maker's Finger, and you're gonna get a save right off of this, and you'll see it. And it's basically a checkpoint save. And then from here, I'll go to Cassardis. This is the fastest way. If you're in post game, it's really annoying to get to Formidable. You have to do a barrel glitch. So running all the way down, hitting the roof stone, going in, killing the pawns, spawn them in. And then from here, I'm trying to get him to do a bait with his right hand grab, but he ends up not doing it. Oh, and you can't fire the Maker's Finger until after that roar for it to count. So he did a little head attack there, and then he jumps up and down. So I just bait for the exact same attack again. That way I can shoot the Maker's Finger. I prefer taking out the wings first. That way he can't roost. So wait for it to be fully destroyed. And then I'm going to go ahead, return the last checkpoint, and it's just going to pop me right back in front of Fornival. And then, like I said earlier, there is no negative effect. And if you look, I did get accessing servers, so the damage with the Maker's Finger and destroying one heart went through. So and then from here, you literally rinse and repeat. This is the fastest strategy if you're looking to farm the Year Dragon, especially if you're trying to get the unique rewards and everything like that. It will take a lot of time. I think on average it's about 80 Maker's Fingers to kill one. And then from here you can see that wingspan is still destroyed from last time I fought, just showing that the damage went in. If it does come back, it could be because an Arisen was fighting it still, and there's a couple of other theories as well, which I'll be sure to link the Dragon's Dogma wiki, which explains some of the different theories and everything. There's also a lot of different strategies as well that's included, so if you're not playing like a Strider, Ranger, or Assassin, it goes in to describe what other strategies that other vocations can utilize. But yeah, so that's the main two strategies that you can use. It's actually fighting the online Year Dragon and then doing the offline. For you to access the offline, you do have to switch, which you go into your settings, gameplay, and then you switch over between online and offline, and then just save your settings and then go in. And this will go ahead and automatically spawn in the offline Year Dragon, which you can fight. And then from there, that's pretty much the main strategies. I'll be going over some of the little tips and tricks and everything. During this battle, I'm only fighting the offline Year Dragon. I pop a couple of Conquerors, and then I do believe I have Blast Arrows during this run as well to take care of the wings, because I'm just trying to get it over with real quick and fast. I also have the Maker's Finger as well to go ahead and give an example of the damage it does. It only takes out one heart no matter what. So when I go to use it, you'll see it only destroys the one heart that I fired at. Another thing to note though as well is that there is a total of 30 hearts that you have to destroy. So this is both for online and offline. An easy way to tell if the heart is still active is like when you go up and you start to slash, you'll see that there is a purple splatter. That's how you know the heart is still active. Whenever I go to attack and the heart's destroyed, you'll see the brown splatter. That means it's dead. And there's no need to attack that area anymore because I'm not doing any damage. Now, as each heart is destroyed, it does have the possibility of dropping items. These items do last for a maximum of 3 minutes. So if you want to collect the different items, it's recommended that you destroy a piece, quickly pick them up, and then keep on going. For what specific items are dropped, I will be sure to include the Dragon's Dogma wiki. That way you can go and look at all the different stats for the drop rates and everything as well. I'll also include in the description the Discord server for your dragon tracking for the online status, along with a Facebook group as well that you can join. As for drops for the Year Dragon, it does differentiate between online and offline. In both of them, you're going to get 20 wake stones for the kill no matter what. However, only 3 different items will drop, or weapons specifically. You can get Ascalon, which is a sword, Heaven's Keys, which is the dagger, or Violent White, which is going to be your mage staff. You get one of 3, and it's completely randomized, so it's not based on vocation or anything like that. With the offline, you have a chance also of getting a Fairy Stone, Seeker's Tokens, more Wake Stones as well, giant coin pouches. For the online, there's a lot more range of weapons. You can get Angel's Fist, Dwells in Light, Lambent Shield, Lustrous Great Shield, Talarian White, Totem Mace as well. And you can get like 2 of these by killing the online. The other items that you also get are a Vicinal Coat, Vicinal Braces, and the Vicinal Greaves. And you get 1 of 4 masks. You can get Siegfried, St. George, Beowulf, and Apollo mask. Now for the mask, you only get 1 for each kill. And another thing that I want to talk about with the online Year Dragon is there being a grace period. So when an Arisen does get the final blow on the online Year Dragon, it goes into grace. Now for PC, it's usually 30 minutes to an hour max for you to go in, and there'll be like 1 or 2 hearts that are still shining, but they're super faint. You just go in, destroy them, and you can collect rewards that way. As for other consoles like PS3, PS4, and Xbox, I think it is somewhere up to an hour that the grace period lasts for. Another neat thing about defeating the online Year Dragon, even in grace period, is that all the items that you have equipped will be Dragon Forged. However, in offline mode, it is much different. So if you've upgraded the item to 1 star, it's a 2%. 2 star is a 10%, and 3 star is a 30% chance for it to be Dragon Forge. Then, as for XP that's gained, you get a base experience of 150k, and this changes whether or not you're using a wheel item or how many pawns that you have in your party. However, the difficulty is not going to affect the amount of XP that you receive, since when you go in the chamber, it automatically puts it into normal mode. But yeah, that is my little tutorial. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you have any other questions or anything else, just leave comments below and I'll try to answer them. And this is the area where you'll get your reward drop. Thank you very much for sticking around and listening. Hope y'all have a good one.